Happy Valentine's Day. This year, we are going to a tropical paradise island where all your dreams can come true. Because Fantasy Island, the uh, 70s or 80s, I believe, TV series starring Ricardo Montalban, which was remade into 90s, possibly early 2000s TV series starring Malcolm McDowell, has been remade into a movie by Blumhouse, famous for scary flicks. And yes, this Fantasy Island is meant to be a thriller. And I was prepared not to like this film because I really liked the Malcolm McDowell series. It had, mature subject matter, but it was still lighthearted and funny and had some good emotion. And this movie turned out to be lighthearted and funny, had some decent, mature subject matter, and had some good emotion, despite it being advertised as a thriller. Excuse me. Michael Pena, the fast-talking guy from the Ant-Man movies, he turned out to be really good as Rourke, the guy who was previously played by Ricardo Montalban and Malcolm McDowell. He was sort of stoic, like he was in a perpetual deep thought. And when you get into his backstory, you can see why. Maggie Q and a few others play guests who get more than they bargained for because the secret of the island is very different, I think, from the previous two series. Overall, this was a surprisingly good film. Heck, they even had Tattoo, the most famous character of the show, second only to Rourke. But he's a little different. I don't want to spoil his backstory, but needless to say, it sort of works in this context. Especially when you view this as the possible prequel to a Netflix series. Because if they were to make a Netflix series that follows the events of this film, that would not be a terrible thing because this movie was very entertaining, far more than I expected, and it had heart. Yeah, it had scares, both decent and not so decent. It had some gore effects because it's a Blumhouse film. Of course, it's going to have gore effects, but they were really good gore effects. The cast was great. No one felt too wooden. And overall, I'm shocked to say that this Fantasy Island thriller remake by Blumhouse is not terrible. See it for yourself. Maybe you'll feel different, but honestly, like I said, if they were to make a Netflix series that immediately follows this film, it would probably be decent. Especially the way the story turned towards the end. I'm not going to spoil it though. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need. Happy Valentine's Day, folks.